Cash Color Kid is a high level of conversation on Live Hip Hop Daily, and I got my guest in the building, Domani. What's good with you, brother?
What's going down?
Ain't nothing, man. My first question for most people is explain who you are. But I assume most people would know who you are. But for those who don't know, explain who you are, sir.
Just a kid with a dream.
There you go, man.
Domani Harris. I'm an artist. Don't really like a lot of labels. I'm just a guy, feed off a lot of vibes, and I just go in and I try to make something. Word
life, man. All right, well, you just released your project not too long ago. Time Will Tell, and I've been vibing with it for the last couple of days. I like having stuff fresh on my mind. You know what I'm saying, right before I speak to somebody, and I was really digging the project because I felt it was super mature. You know what I'm saying, especially after I found out how young you were. It was super mature record. Talk to us about the production of Time Will Tell. Like, what was your vibe like going into the project?
Going into it, I did all the songs really separate. I did the songs pretty much 90% of the music I recorded before I even knew I wanted to put a project out called Time Will Tell.
Okay.
So I was just doing music based off how I was feeling throughout that whole year, and at the end, I knew I wanted to put out a project. I was trying to figure out what story I wanted to tell, what theme I wanted. And I was listening to all the music, and I realized I kept saying Time Will Tell. I had the song called Time Will Tell already. And it's like I was saying Time Will Tell throughout like different interludes and intros of the song. And it's like I pretty much picked the title before I even knew I picked it.
That's what's up.
So yeah.
Inadvertently and shit, right?
Exactly. And then I just got me and my guys, my band in the studio. We added live instruments to pretty much tie everything together.
Yeah, it's lit.
Just make it sound like some original junk.
Yeah, it definitely did that to me. You know what I'm saying? When I'm listening to it, you try to make it as hard as possible to put yourself in a box, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it came off as a typical Southern record or a typical even a conscious record. It just came off as a really good album. You know what I mean? And speaking of the title record, Time Will Tell. We were just playing that a little while ago, man, and I've had that on repeat since I heard it. Because I'm like, when you listen to these lyrics, man, it's like I really want to get down with him about this. You sound like a kid who was you saw a lot of shit growing up. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like from a perspective of somebody who was just a project living up dude. You was somebody who everybody else knew who your parents were.
Yeah.
How difficult was that coming up through that world, you know what I'm saying, where people just kind of knew who you were, and when it came to putting together that song, like how hard was it to kind of put all those to work, all that on pen and pad?
Well, it wasn't really like that they knew who I was, I think the most difficult part was that they thought they knew who I was,
Yeah.
And then, when people think they know who you are, they already think they're gonna get something, or it's gonna sound like this, or they think you was brought up like this. Then when you say something other than what they already thought, they mind kind of cancel it out. So that was pretty much it, trying to make a name for myself and speak my truth and tell my story. I would say that's probably the most difficult part. But yeah, I try to be as honest as possible in my music. I feel like that helps me and the listeners.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. So when you was coming up and you was trying to develop your sound and develop your style, was there anybody who you pulled from or who you were listening to that kind of helped you develop who you were becoming?
A lot of people. You said at the beginning?
Yeah, like when you was first starting out and you knew you was about to rhyme. Like, was there anybody you was pulling from?
Definitely Outkast, UGK, Biggie, Pop, Dungeon Family. I studied a lot of old cats.
I was about to say Biggie, man. You was
yeah. Wordplay, storytelling, Kendrick, Cole, Jay, a bunch of that. I feel like that's the structure. Like a lot of people, I think about it like food. I got this from my guy Rio. He used to always explain everything in food. He was a big dude, so he say, you got your base, so you got your entree, your meat. So the old school rap, the storytellers, the legends, that's the meat.
Okay.
The stuff going on nowadays, that's just sauce. That's just seasoning.
Yeah.
You don't want dry, you don't want plain meat, but you don't just want sauce. You gotta have both of it.
True.
So I studied the old cats and I studied the new cats.
True. So you was feeding off a full meal. I feel you. I feel that. And and speaking about the sauce, like today's music, I guess would be considered sauce. Saying for the meal. Mm-hmm. Where do you find yourself fitting into this new world of music? You know what I'm saying? Because when you listen to newer cats, you listen to some young cats coming out. It comes off like there's a pattern right now. It comes off like there's kind of a paint by numbers flow that people are kind of moving to when it comes to putting together image, sound, all that. Do you feel like you could even fit into that, or is that something that you even aspire to? Like, where do you feel like you come in with this new generation?
It's just a lot of creativity. Mm-hmm. A lot of dope people had came in and opened the doors and opened our minds to different things that we wasn't really open to before. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of people are more open to being different and creative, and that could lead to a lot of people following and doing exactly what the last person did.
Feel you. And
that could lead to somebody opening another door and doing something completely different. It's every generation got their pros and cons. Yeah. But yeah, I would say I take a lot of creativity from the new cats.
That's word, man. That's word. So getting back to the album, man. When you were set to release this project and you was ready to go, do you listen to your own music, and when you listening to it, was you saying, yeah, this is what's we have to crack with people?
It's kind of difficult for me to. So you got to switch from artist mode to creative mode, and creative mode into like business mode. Yeah. It's kind of, I don't like to mix those. I keep them separate, so it's kind of hard to switch. But yeah, I listened to the music for a long time because I knew I wanted everything to tie into each other like real smooth, and I wanted to tell a story. So I had to keep listening and feel like which song I wanted to come next, what vibe I wanted to come next. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what it is. You said what?
Yeah, I guess I slipped a little bit. Oh no, I was saying that when you was putting out the album out, did you sit down and listen to it yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And bang through that.
Put it all together myself.
Okay.
Can't nobody tell my story like how I got it in my head.
Yeah.
So yeah, the track list, the interludes, the intros, the outros. If you just got a vision, I always see my visions like clear. So if you got a vision, just follow through.
Word, man. So what's the reaction been like from fans, or what's the reaction been like from people who who really fuck with the music heavy? Like, how they been feeling it?
Man, I feel like they proud for real. Word. Cause it's a lot of fans that's been rocking with me for a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of people started fan pages before I was even before I was good, and it's like now they see they favorite artists, getting the recognition or the kind of fame that they always seen that I had in their own head.
Yeah, and they got an ownership about it. They feel a little bit of ownership
exactly.
About that.
You get to say you get that's bragging rights.
Yeah, man.
I was on him before.
Before that.
Yeah.
And you know what's dope about that is that you actually came up. You came up in a way that most artists should come up. You dropped your first album, you promoted that, you did the runs, you took some time off, put the album out. Yeah. It wasn't like you said you tip and say, yo, can you put me on? So I was about to ask, like, what was it been like? Like, do you ever sense any animosity from other artists because they feel like, he's a celebrity, he's a child of a celebrity versus not really looking at the situation where now he really came up as an artist. Like, he really put the work out, he really did what he's supposed to do.
A lot of people they feel different about it.
Yeah.
But I try to understand. I try to understand people. If I try to say if I was in a position, would I be able to think different? If I seen if I was struggling, or if I was in a position I didn't want to be in, and I seen somebody look like they had their whole life handed to them, yeah. And I say, what, I'm better than him. Why am I not in his position? I would feel some type of way too, cause it's not even about the music these days. It's so many young cats that's really dope with music, and yes, they feel like they don't got no way to really show the world that. So I just try to understand. Yeah. But yeah, man, you gonna get that. I use that as inspiration. I try to help people. I want to know, why do you feel like this? How can I help?
Yeah. Yo, you read a lot of books?
Man, I don't. Not as much as I need to.
I was gonna say, man, I got a book I could recommend for you because when I was watching it, I forget the cast you was with, man. I was watching this interview with you last night, and I was thinking, man, he need to read Invisible Man if he never read it.
I've never read it.
Because if there's anybody who get that, you get it. Like the point of the book is there's no real details to the person except we believe he's black. But the point of the book is that people don't realize who you are because most people look at you through stereotypes. And if they look at you through stereotypes, then really you're invisible. So if you're invisible, you can do what the hell you want to. Ain't nobody noticing you. And when I was listening to his interview, I was like, I feel like he living an invisible life. Like this man's really just putting out the shit he feel in his heart, and people are resonating with it because they're not seeing the stereotypes. And the people who do see the stereotypes is missing a real good pie. You know, missing a real good meal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pick that book up. You pick up Invisible Man.
You got it here?
Nah, I don't got it here. I got it in the crib. But you know what? I'll give it to Ty. It's my original copy, man. You can have that, man. Read that. You know, you recently graduated high school.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what made you? Did you know when you was in high school that you were just gonna go bypass college and just jump to rap?
Nah, I was definitely thinking about it. I still want to go to college, but I don't want to waste no money. I don't want to. For real.
Nah, I feel you, bro. That's loads for real.
I wanna go for different reasons. I wanna go to network, meet different people. I like learning people. I like hearing what people got going on. I like being in the mix. And just really building a team. I feel like I need a solid team, and it's good to build a team early on, you know.
Yeah. If you would go to a college, have you thought about what school you'd have went to?
I didn't think that deep into it.
That's crazy, man.
For real. It really didn't matter to me. I just want to be around a group of people with the same goals. Yeah. You know, everybody want to be something under this roof. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I admired about college.
All right, that's what's up, man. So I know you have you been on the road, or you about to hit the road with Crit and Rhapsody?
I've been on the road a little bit, but this gonna be my real tour experience.
Word, man. You amped up for it?
I'm ready. I'm ready to be busy. You know, I like doing things. I like having things to do.
Yeah, and you want to build with some acts that really are you know, they hot and beyond hot. They really paving the way for other artists, especially Rhapsody, man. So I know it feels like it's kind of a heavy bill to be on, but have you thought about that? Like, yo, I'm about to rock with these people who are young legends in their own right, and I'm about to show out that I could be on that level too.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. They both dope. Like I'm just ready.
Word. You know, so I heard that you Bob Marley was one of your influences.
Yes.
How did Bob influence you?
Just his vibe, his way of looking at things. You know, calm, cool, collected, peaceful. Yeah. You know, no matter. I feel like negative energy or anger, giving that to somebody, allowing somebody to get you angry, like they already won. So yeah, I just want to stay calm, and I want to be able to control my own emotions. A lot of people out here being controlled. I want to be able to have control of myself.
Word, man. Well, Bob was a connoisseur of cannabis, man. Are you a fan of the plant?
I don't. It's not that I'm not a fan of it. I don't smoke. If that's what you're saying. Nah, I don't smoke, but it's not that I'm not a fan of it. I don't want to rely on, you know, outside sources. I feel like anything you can do, I can do better. Anything that can do, I can do better if I put my mind to it. Yeah. So yeah. That's
real. That's real, man. What do you think you want to be remembered for the most? Like, say, when you are done with music, and or if you ever get done with music, like, what do you want people to take away from you as an artist?
It's a good question, man. I would say anything he did it 100. He put 110% into it. That's always been me as a kid. Anything I did it like that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Word, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And none of these material things, they don't mean anything if you can't give them to somebody else or help somebody else. I want to be known for putting people on and helping people. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Word. What's your favorite album? What's your favorite record on the album?
That's difficult too because I like some videos more than others. I see videos when I hear music, so I like that. Exactly. Yeah. So I would say the number one thing I can play when I get in my car at any time will probably be Forever and I'm Not Ready.
I like that Forever record too. That Forever record, when you hear it, I'm glad you put the visual the way you did. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes off real free flowing and like.
That's how I wanted it to be.
Yeah, that's what's up, boy. You had a chance to rock out with J. Cole in Dreamville.
Yes.
What was it like being part of that session, man? Like that was a legendary session going on.
It was dope, man. It reminded me of like my grandma's house with like my cousins working together, because it's like it's a big Tree Sounds is a big studio, but it was so many people, so many artists there. Like they was just grabbing mics and speakers and setting up like anywhere. Like they was in the kitchen, they was in closets, and it was pretty much like my grandma's house, and that's why I felt like so. It was just such a dope vibe for real. It didn't feel like people. It didn't feel like work, and that's a good thing. I bet.
Yeah, the album came out well too, so it definitely didn't feel like work. When you was walking away from that session, did you take away anything that you use now yourself, or is there when you walked out of there, did you feel like, okay, I want to recreate this vibe on my own?
I definitely, me seeing all of those artists and producers work together, it made me want to work with more people, because I really don't. I stay to myself, and I only like work with the people I know. Yeah. So yeah, that session really kind of opened my eyes and opened another door in my head and made me want to work with more artists.
Nice, man. What do you fear?
I don't know how many people said they fear fearing, but I do fear fearing. I don't want to fear. I fear being stagnant. I fear being stuck in a box. Yeah, I fear not being able to do anything I want to do.
Yeah. You know, and I thought about that because your first album, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, I wonder if he actually fears anything. And speaking of fear, what draws happiness for Domani?
Setting goals and reaching them. Yeah, setting goals, reaching them, and allowing all of my loved ones and people I care about to be comfortable, for real.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. Did the teacher ever really try to pass you a mixtape?
She did. She did give me a mixtape.
Did you listen to it or not? Or was it just
I was so young. I didn't even process it, for real. It's just my teacher giving me something. She told me to give it to my parents. I gave it to my mom, and she turned around. Went right back up.
My mom would have fucked her up. Yeah.
She cussed the school out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I wasn't processing it. So yeah.
Because I heard that line and I was like, shit, I couldn't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like a teacher walking up to me like, yo, can you pass this off to your dad real quick?
That's just the life, man. That's a lot of people. A lot of people look at you and they think this is my only way out. Yeah. You know, this is my time. And that you can kind of get you don't see anything else but that. So yeah.
How much do you feel like you have grown since your first album to right now as far as an artist?
I would say definitely a lot business-wise. I've learned to open up more. I've learned to open up more and say things that I really feel and really stuff that's really going on. Yeah. I really wasn't doing that too much in the beginning. I was a little hesitant, you know. But yeah, now I'm starting to open up more.
That's what's up, man. You got rid of that fear of fearing.
Exactly.
Yeah, moved all the way up on it. So we moving into a new year soon. What do we think we're gonna get from Domani as far as like music and clothing, anything? Like what we feel like we're gonna get from you?
Definitely gonna have some more merch out. Definitely gonna be touring the world. Definitely gonna be touring. I'm a project guy, so definitely gonna be working on my next project.
Right. So you're not like somebody who just like drops single after single after single. Like you don't just drop loosies like random like that.
I like to have a full body of work. You know, if I can do that with the single, if I feel like that's a full body of work, then yeah, I will do that. But most times I have more to say.
Word, you know, a question I wanted to ask you just jumped into my mind. Have you been pushed into the lane yet where somebody's asked you, when are you going to put out a commercial record?
Not lately. Earlier in my career, yeah, it was a couple people saying that. But I was telling them, nah. Like a lot of people tell me, like, yo, you need to get this feature, you need to get this guy on this feature. Exactly. Stuff like that. I was like, nah. And I was so young, now that I think about it, I was so young and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I could have got anybody on the feature. But yeah, I just kept telling them, no, I want to do this my way. Yeah. I'm gonna do it like this, and it's gonna work out. And they didn't. A lot of people not as patient as me. Yeah. You know, and I understand. They didn't grow up like me. So yeah, I just always executed my visions.
Word. Have you ever thought about doing a project with your dad?
I want to, yeah.
Does he want to? Have you pushed him? I'm pretty sure he's like, yo, are you ready, son?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we did music. It's just about putting it out. I'm not ready to put it out yet. Okay. We're not ready for that yet. So, but yeah, I don't wanna leave music without doing music with my dad. Yeah. If that makes sense. It's just I wouldn't want to do that.
Nah, it makes sense, man. Because again, listening to you over these last couple of days, I was telling Herb this, man. It felt a lot like I was listening to his dad, but it was from two different perspectives. You know what I mean? I'm watching the dude, like, who literally was telling me about when you was saying in the interview when you was coming up, you know, I was skateboarding and this, that, and the third. And I was like, it's crazy because at that same age, his dad was in Bankhead doing some complete other shit, and it just goes to show how much different you can be depending on the environment. And I think, your dad could have been sitting there with the most militant, conscious rap right now, but instead he gave us some brilliant trap rap. Yeah. But his son's giving us this.
That's what was around them, though.
Exactly. So. It just goes to show where environments are, man. That there's a lot of geniuses in the hood right now who really don't got they're not being told they could skateboard, or they could draw, or they could do something other than play ball or rap.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I thought that was dope about you, man. I'd love to hear some records with you and your dad, because it's like I'm listening and watching two of the same things, but just different ways. It's a dope contrast. Have you thought about anybody you want to collab with, and if so, who would it be?
I was just gonna say I didn't really think about it like that, about me and my dad. Two different perspectives.
Oh yeah, two different perspectives, man.
I guess that's why everybody wanted. I didn't really think about it like that, for real. I just thought about it as two guys that rap, and I'm his son.
Nah, it was crazy. Listening to that interview when you hit that shit about skateboarding, I was like, dang, that's so crazy, because I know I heard an interview with your dad when he was like, man, I remember being 14, riding up and down Bankhead, you know, I was serving it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So different lives, and it's just wild, man. Just wild. Yeah, we'd love to hear that. But who would you want to collab with?
I don't know. I like challenging myself. Just whatever is a challenge, whoever I can learn the most from. Okay. For real. I think that's pretty much it.
I think I can see you with a crit record, man. Like I think Crit is happy.
Let's see what happened on this tour, you know.
Make that work.
Yeah, I love to get in with Crit.
Make that work, man. That's what's up, man. So when you looking when we're looking back and you think to yourself, is there anything I could have did or should have put out, something I didn't leave on it, I left on the table and didn't give the world? What would that be if you think about it?
Not necessarily a song, but I wish I would have took it serious in the beginning. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All the songs that I make, I finish them and I plan on putting them out. So it's not a song.
What's up, man? All right, so last thing for you, bro, before we get out of here and get to our regular mix.
Yes, sir.
If there's a kid right now who want to rhyme and they're confused about how to start it, they're confused about even if somebody wants to hear their voice, what advice would you give them?
You said if they're confused about how to start?
Yeah, if they're confused about how to start, or even confused about how to get their style out, because maybe they ain't what everybody else is giving them.
Okay. That's kind of like, it reminds me of my brother. But yeah, you just gotta start. Honestly, it's no how to start. Like everybody want a 1, 2, 3 step answer. Yeah. It's not really no direction. You make your own map. So just start for real. You might not like how you sound in the beginning, but you got to start somewhere. You got to get comfortable. You got to know your voice. Yeah. You gon' do it. It's just like riding a bike. You might hit a curb or hit something, but eventually you're gonna learn how to drive straight. Right. So yeah, it's just about trial and error. Some things you can't really teach. You gotta teach yourself. Right. Getting comfortable with your voice, knowing what you want to say. Once you know how to rhyme and tell a story, you gonna find out what you got to say.
Yeah, that's solid, man. You know what? And actually, one last thing, 'cause I forgot to answer this. You want a Tony?
Tony nomination.
Tony nomination,
Yeah.
excuse me. Tony nomination. That's a major thing. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of people don't even understand what a Tony is. But you were nominated for a Tony.
Yes, sir.
What was it like being when you heard that nomination for your work on SpongeBob?
Definitely caught me by surprise because I was just doing music at the time.
Yeah.
I did that song like around, I was 14 when I did that song, and then years later, I get a call. They say, you know that it got nominated for a Tony. I'm like, Tony? I was like, what is that? And then everybody like getting mad at me because I didn't know how big it was. But yeah, that's I just make music, you know. But yeah, it's a blessing though.
Yeah, bro, you making dope music, man. Now, like I said, I'm very impressed by you as a person, even more than the music. So I wish you the most of luck, sir, and I thank you for coming through the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
No doubt, man. And that's Cash Color Canvas, a high level of conversation.